Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be doing a deck profile of my other Genesis Legion deck that I built. The first one was the CEO Yggdrasil one. This one is the Genesis Witch build. So this is like the polar opposite of the Fianna Revenger one, or not Revenger one, the Shadow Paladin one. So this is the Genesis take on the witches. So these are like the good witches, and the other ones are like the bad witches. So it's kind of like Wizard of Oz themed. I don't know how I came up with that, but I just did. So anyway, start off for Witch Snake Witch Mint. She's your main winning image Legion. She's a pretty good card. Pretty good Legion effect. It's unique, and then there's none of this generic stuff. So then we have 4 Witch of Eagles Fennel. This is the backup one. And then the thing I noticed about these compared to the Regalia, these Vanguards actually have Counterblast effect. So you might want to keep that in mind if you're thinking of running like Quintet Walls. I am actually running Quintet Walls in here, in addition to Perfect Guards, but just need to keep that in mind because typically Genesis Vanguards do not Counterblast that much, and really it's not that big of a deal. Like this is just, when it's placed on V, you may Counterblast 1 to Soul Charge 3. And then this one is, if you have another Witch in the middle column, you can Counterblast 1 to Soul Charge 3, you can only do it once per turn. So, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but it's like, just keep that in mind. For grade 2s, 4 Black Snake Witch Chicory. This is the 12k attacker for the witches. It's also the Legion mate for Mint. And it's similar to the Shadow Paladin one in that it's the Legion mate of the main Vanguard, and it's also a 12k attacker. So I mean that's a pretty good Legion mate, but in my opinion it's a very generic Legion mate. Next, 4 Witch of Golden Eagles Jasmine. This is the Legion mate for Fennel. So this one's more unique, although it does have a Counterblast, but that's okay because the rear guards, you know, the rear guards are the cards that have Counterblast in Genesis decks typically. So it's Soul Charge 3. When it's placed on R, if you have a Vanguard with Witch in the name, you can Counterblast 1 to Soul Charge 3, and she also gets 3k, making her 12k that turn. So that's pretty good. And then the other witch that I went with is the reprint of Chamomile, Witch of Ravens Chamomile. When she's basically sent from the soul to the drop zone, you can Counterblast 1 and Superior Call her. So that's pretty good. I carried this card over from my Minerva deck because my Minerva deck does run 3 of these. I think it's a very good card. It's just free field presence. Not free, but you know, it's cheap Superior Calling. It's a good thing for Genesis. It's the thing that United Sanctuary Nation clans are good at. So anyway, that's the grade 2s. Grade 1s, same as the other witch deck that I have. I'm running 2 Witch of Strawberries and 2 Barrier Witch Grainne. Just 2 and 2, it works. It's not that bad. You're gonna do the Legion stuff a lot anyway, so Quintet Walls are pretty good with Legion, if people haven't already figured that out. 4 Witch of Frogs Melissa, same effect as Chamomile. This is the reprint. They're commons now. Just 4 of them because, you know, if you need to get them up. I may actually drop this to 3 or even 2, but right now it's pretty good. The deck does have enough ways to soul charge in my opinion that I don't really need to run like more Cumins or Valencia. I may run Valencia though. I'm thinking of taking like one of these out. And then 4 of this new Witch of Peaches Bellini. So this is the 10k grade 1 for the Witch card, Witch subclan. So this is early game rush card. And then 2 Witch of Cats Cumin, just for the early soul charge. Although you gotta be careful with these type of cards, because the thing that you gotta remember when you're playing Genesis is if you open up without a grade 3, you want to be a little careful about soul charging early if you don't have a grade 3. It's really bad. Like the worst thing that happens for Genesis players early game If you played this clan a lot, you know what I mean. Like you'll ride this or call this or something early game. You don't have a 3 yet. You soul charge a 3 that you would have gotten on your drive check. So just keep that in mind. I may actually take this out completely and put Valencia in for that reason. But for now, that's what I'm running. For grade 0s, the Witch's Heal. So Witch of Big Pots. The Witch Critical. Lemon Witch Limosino. For Battle Maiden, Kokuri Hime, just because she has that put into the soul effect. So just 4 heals, 8 criticals, and then 4 draw. You can run 12 critical in here if you want. I just like these draws because of their effect. And the deck is it's pretty good. It can get away with running just 8 critical, the standard build, just fine. But if you want, you can go in all out and go 12 critical. Either or works. I would also say that since I am running the 2 quintet walls, it would be nice if I had 12 critical, just because it would make it more like my Minerva deck, which is running 12 critical. And then the starter I went with is Witch of Prohibited Books Cinnamon. So I chose this starter. This starter came out back when Fortuna came out in BT 11, Steel Dragons Unleashed. So I chose this over the starter that came in the extra booster, mainly because this one is a 5k, that one was only 4k, and you put in the soul to give 3k to something. And I don't know, I mean, I like this because it's, when it boosts a grade 3 or greater, you may put it in the soul and soul charge 2, so it basically gives you 3 soul charge all at once, and it's a witch card, so it fits in with the theme. I mean, you can run this, or you can run Battle Maiden Ameno Huakari, or you can run the other, like the new witch one that they got. All of them work just fine, or you can even run the generic Searcher if you want. But I just went with this for fun. I don't really consider this my competitive Genesis deck. I still think my Minerva one and the CEO one is the upper tier. Keeping all things the same, all variables equal in terms of like player skill and stuff. But anyway, the deck seems to function just fine. It's a real fun deck to play. So yeah, that was basically my Genesis Witch deck. Gonna be doing Murakumo in a future video, Mega Colony, Angel Feather, Pale Moon, and Great Nature, as well as a bunch of other ones, probably like my updated ones from Fighters Collection 2014, as well as my Seeker one. So anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.